two, on two, on two. Ready? Ready.
Yo. It's Sunday, and you know what that means. It's time for the football frame of mind. Okay? If you're watching, you know what time it is. Okay? So, nonetheless, how you doing?
Let's talk about that. No, but let's talk about that. So, I mean, I'm good, man. It's been a long weekend, but we get to come out here and talk about a whole bunch of crazy stuff that's happened over the weekend. A bunch of upsets. You could have swore it was March Madness. We had so many upsets over the weekend. But it's going to be a great episode, man. Anybody watching, check out the Villain Sports Media Network. That who's providing this episode, as well as checking out all of the other shows on there as well, and checking us out on all major social media platforms, YouTube, Twitch, X, TikTok, all of that good stuff, and you will not be disappointed.
Won't be disappointed. Nah, man. Really cool to be here, man. We just two dudes talking sports, man. That's what it is, you know. So bear with me. We're working on our socials right now. We're trying to share at the moment, right? So Brandon, tell the people what they have in store today.
Come on, man. We have a jam-packed episode. Like we already kind of touched base on a lot of the upsets in college football, as well as some really interesting NFL games that happened today as of 7, 8 p.m. A lot of games that went a lot different than what I expected, and some other ones that, a lot of teams are real. I've said it before, but teams that are really starting to separate themselves and elevate themselves going into this middle point of the season, whether being in college football on the tail end or looking at NFL teams starting to really pull away, like teams like Washington and some of these other teams that are really starting to put things together and putting their first foot forward, trying to get a really good spot in the playoffs. So it's going to really be interesting, to say the least.
I agree, man. I agree. The upsets this week was pretty eye-opening, man. If you really want to be honest, it's pretty eye-opening. A lot of teams, that thought, hey, oh well, we don't have a shot. They do.
Yes, they do.
They do. They do. They do. So, but we'll get into all of that as we speak, man. So let's get into the show, man. We got a whole lot to talk about, man. So, we start off the show with the new AP poll, man. It's the new AP poll out there. What's good, Mr. Duff? What's good? What's good? Yes, sir. Football is back in full swing. Full swing. Don't forget basketball out there too, man. Man, it's fun, dog. I wish we had a basketball segment in this show, man. I'll show you that Rudy Gobert fight. Not really a fight. It was just really some pushing and shoving, man. But it was funny, man. He got dunked on and then
he felt some kind of way.
Yeah, man. Look, some white dude, he came up there. He just and Gobert like grabbed him and then pushed him. I was like, oh, that's what we doing. That's what we doing. But I was like, all right, cool, man. Let's see. He said, he said they dropped. Yeah, they dropped, man.
They did.
Because you gotta think, they already probably don't have the strength of schedule. And that was like one of their toughest games. So,
and then they're not ranked either, so they're going to drop significantly. Because they were like close to the top. They were like 11 or 12, I think, last week. They were high.
No, they were top 10, I think, last week.
maybe 10th. Then I don't know if
Yeah,
they were any
they
higher
weren't
than 10th.
higher than that.
But
The week before that, I think they were 9th, but then they
Mhm.
went back to 10, and then now the 17. So, but the surprising thing about this to me is that Penn State didn't drop further. I honestly would think they should have been dropped further. You
how much
know,
further you think? Because right now they're at 6.
I'm thinking 8. I'm thinking 8 because all right, so they beat a lot of teams so far this season, right? But they already knew that their schedule comes, before this season, it used to come down to Ohio State and Michigan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, Michigan is not really a factor anymore. So it comes down to Ohio State, and that's where you show what kind of team you are.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't show up at all. I think Ohio State played like their C+ game and still walked away with the victory. And it
Mm-hmm.
really looked, it looked a lot worse than the score, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it was pretty like you looked at Penn State and you like, how are they in the top 5, bro? Like what this is like Ohio State done had a loss already. So it's like they played not even their best game, in my opinion. And they
Mm-hmm.
still like manhandled them in a sense. So I felt like they should have been lower.
Yeah.
Like give some of these other teams a chance to be up there because they didn't look like the best team. I
No.
thought Tennessee looked way better than they did, you know, in my opinion. So, but Andrew says Tennessee wouldn't beat Penn State. Man, I don't agree with that,
If
Andrew.
it's at Penn State, I'd probably say it's gonna favor them. But if it's at a neutral site or a Rocky Top, I definitely see a Tennessee. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think Tennessee can beat them, dog, on a neutral site at home. I think they could, man, because they don't have no offensive firepower. Like they still running the same I formation type shit that they ran back when Joe Paul was there. It really ain't no difference. They need something else. They need a new type of offense or scheme or something because it's like it's not explosive enough. It's like, all right, we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna take some time off the clock, we're gonna pass, play action or whatever. Like, dude, football done moved further than that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have moved a lot further than that, in my opinion, man. And nobody should be doing that shit anymore, in my opinion. As much has changed in football from little league to the NFL. You should not be doing I formation as the bulk of your offense. You
No, you
should
have to
be doing,
spread it out. The game is more pass heavy. You have even if you're running a lot of your run plays like inside zone and stuff like that, you're running a lot of that out of the shotgun. You're not really in under center for a lot of that stuff like you used to be.
I agree. I agree, man. So, but the bigger takeaway, in my opinion, is Washington State.
Yeah.
Washington State is in the top 25, man, and that's cool. Colorado finally got some love. I thought they should have been in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I probably
Uh,
said like a week or two ago they were probably getting votes, but they just didn't have enough, I guess, compared to some of these other teams that were getting votes.
yeah, yeah.
Let's give Indiana and BYU credit though. Indiana's for real, bro. That's a dangerous team. I think they could give a lot of these other teams a lot of problems. BYU still looks really good too. They're both within the top 10 now. Like all they need to do is win out, and they could definitely lock up a good playoff spot.
Nah, I agree. I agree, man. I think BYU is probably the best team to come out of the Big 12. They're probably gonna be the best team. But you know, you still gotta think. I think they do like what standings rather than conferences, don't they?
What you mean, the Big 12?
Yeah, don't
I
they
think
do the highest rank?
The Big 12 still does divisions, if I'm not mistaken. if I'm not mistaken, they probably still do divisions like how the SEC has, how they had East and West. I could be wrong, but I don't think they moved to just like the conglomerate like everybody else has. I think BYU's definitely a favorite. You still got Iowa State hanging in there. Your Big 12 champion pick isn't looking too great right about now, though. They dropped about 7 straight in Oklahoma State.
Oh yeah, bro. That's over with.
And
That's
then mine would have been a
over
lot
with.
better had their quarterback not went down and had struggles with all that.
Yeah, it's like man, like they just didn't. They not running the ball like I anticipated. You know, I anticipated Ollie Gordon like going extra hard this season. Extra hard. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought he was gonna be back-to-back Dope Walker Award winners, right? You know, that's how I thought it was, in my opinion. But but nonetheless, man, still trying to get this social thing together.
Yeah. I will say though, hey, Oregon's still hanging in there, man. They're still at number 1. This is what 2 or 3 weeks in a row. They're still at 1. They're not playing bad football. Like for anybody,
man, Dylan Gabriel's like really good though. Like
dude,
really good.
You've seen a real progress. I've said this before, but you've seen that progression since week 1 where they had like a couple shaky starts. They're playing good all around football right now. And come playoff time, like that's going to be a dangerous team as well. We were talking about the depth and everything in the offseason, getting Evan Stewart, already having a solid number 1 at receiver, and their really underrated defense. Like this team is a viable threat in the playoffs. I'm telling you.
Man, you ain't lying, man. You ain't lying one bit. Oregon looks good. Obviously Georgia, you know, is still a thing, but we'll get into those games, man, right now. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into some of the action, man, because we got some comments we got to put out here, man. So we'll start with this game right here, but let's check out these comments, man.
No, Florida State had to say. We appreciate you making sure his opinion was put out there.
Shout out Emily. Shout out to her and Andrew. Awesome. But
okay,
Florida
so they got away with it too, so they changed it. Okay.
Florida State's ass. Okay? Like I don't know what happened to them this season, dog. Like even if we said that they were gonna have a down year, you would think it would be like what 7-8 wins.
I would have said like worst case scenario 7.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they done lost 7, 8 actually.
But Andrew, I give him credit. Like before we started all this season,
he's gonna glow.
There you go. He said, like, dude, like they lost a lot and they went mercenaries trying to get all these guys in, and once they all left for the draft, like it's done. Acknowledge me.
Put the ones up.
I mean, they're only 2 wins right now.
They might be worse than that.
Oh, they're gonna be worse than 4, but they got 2 on, or they just have 1.
I think they 1-8, dog.
Yeah, they're not hitting 4, dog. That's not happening.
They bad, man.
You're looking at maybe 2-10, maybe.
And what's even crazier is that you don't even know what DJU's gonna do, man.
He jacked. He should have just. I think he could have went in the draft last year. Honestly, I think his stock might not have been a lottery pick, but I think he could have. Yeah. I think he could have slipped into the first round last year with how he played.
Yeah, I agree. I think I think that was the highest he was gonna get.
Yeah, you wasn't getting, and then the competition got harder. I feel like going to the ACC this year, we knew the ACC was going to be better, but we didn't anticipate Florida State to struggle like that.
I knew the SEC would have been better. I mean, the ACC would have been better, but I just think, man, you shouldn't have went back to that conference because it didn't go well for you when you was there. And
he probably could have found a Big Ten school. Honestly, they have plenty of options. He could have definitely went somewhere and competed and got the starting job.
Yeah, man. I would have went.
They had last year.
I would have went somewhere. Obviously, hindsight's 2020, but if I was him and his skill set, I would have went somewhere where the pressure isn't there.
Like Maryland,
Yeah, Maryland
because they run a
or
pretty open
somewhere
offense.
where if we win, and it's like, we still got basketball season. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere like that. You know, like UConn or something, somewhere like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But nonetheless, man, Miami continues to go on their TCU run. But I tell you the difference between them and TCU in 20, what was that?
21, I
2022?
think. 21 or
21?
22.
The difference is, all right, so you remember TCU. So for everybody that doesn't really remember, TCU got into the playoffs over LSU and Alabama, right? And some other teams. Because they were the most deserving team. They won, they survived. But we ain't talking about the NCAA basketball tournament, survive and advance. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the luck of the Irish every week not looking like a four best team. But a four deserving team, they will be in there, right? They lost their conference championship, still got in, beat Michigan, don't know how, but they did anyway, and got boat raced by Georgia. And we all had to sit there through that massacre, right? So I compare these two teams, Miami and TCU, because Miami has been lucky a lot, right? But, big but, only half of their games have been close, right? Only half. Some have been blowouts, right? But when they get it going, they get it going.
They have a better roster than TCU had too, and better quarterback play.
Man, they when they hit the gas, they go.
Oh, they don't take the foot off.
That's why I think that they're a real like 12-team playoff contender, right? They are in there because they've shown that they can win ugly. They've shown that they can come back. They can win a shootout. Like what you want, what you want. So I like what Miami's doing. It's really good and everything. So we got Andrew here. He said 4-8, 1 win. Yep. And then he said 4-8, but you should have took the under, bro. Should have took the under, man.
With this game, we need to be talking about Manny Diaz and what he's doing at Duke, because they're a good team, and Malik Murphy didn't have a bad game either. Just besides the freaking turnovers that really cost them, and those really is what took them out of this game.
Malik Murphy gonna be nice for them.
Yeah, that was a good decision, and Manny Diaz is a good coach. I like what Duke was doing. It's just, man, they kind of let the game get away from them. Turnovers really cost them, and Miami just has too much, and they were able to just pull away and just start scoring towards like the end of this game. So
yeah, because if I'm not mistaken, Duke was winning at halftime.
Yeah, it was close, but Duke had a lead. Yeah. And then going into the second half, Miami obviously got some turnovers, and they were able to just pull away and drop a 50-piece on them.
Man, that was wild, G. That was wild, man. Let's get into the next game. But we got a special guest in the green room. We got a special
in the draft room.
In the draft room. In the draft room. I see you back there. I see you back there. I see you back there in the room.
I see you back there eating all the concessions, bro.
In the boom boom room. Let me see if I can run this thing for him, man.
Eating all the cake.
I'm a bad guy, the one you love to hate. Andrew Anderson, stating truth that just can't wait. Got a podcast, like a punch right to your face. College sports villain.
Welcome to the show. The College Sports Villains co-host, show founder, the council member, Andrew Anderson. Mr. Anderson, how are you today?
Man, I'm good. I've completely shifted to Christmas mode. So
My
I have
house.
Christmas background, put up the tree. Man, we made a turkey dinner with homemade mac, homemade dressing. Like we did it up on Christmas tree day. But I'm doing great.
Y'all got a Christmas tree day?
Yes.
That's kind of dope, bro.
Yeah, we make a big
Yeah.
meal today, mashed potatoes, the whole thing. We put up the tree, put up the stockings. You know, it's an event. Put on some Christmas movies.
Heck yeah.
First question I gotta ask you, man, before we get into this next game. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Die Hard is a Christmas movie if you want it to be. That's the good part about it. If it makes you feel Christmas and it's Christmas to you tradition, then yes, it's a Christmas movie. But if not, if it's not something you've ever done, it's just a really cool action movie you like, well, then it's an action movie. It's okay to have a different opinion on that.
I swear, man, that's a beautiful way to put it. But it is a Christmas movie to me.
And that matters.
Ho, ho, ho. I got a machine gun.
We watched Home Alone and the Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Hey,
I
you
say
wanna
Christmas
know
of the Cranks is good
you want
too.
to know who got an underrated Christmas song that nobody probably heard of?
Who?
DMX's rendition of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
I have heard it. Yes, I have.
That is a classic that nobody really knows.
Mm-mm.
It's a classic.
I know it. I don't think it's a classic, but I know it. I mean, it's as good as some of the other crap people put out. I mean, no doubt about that. There's some bad.
Man, that is a classic because he growled through the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm a Christmas music guy, right? Like I love Christmas music. There's a lot of bad Christmas music out there, though.
You got a number one fan. You got a number one fan. Number one fan. Shout out.
Yeah. He's supposed to be my number one fan.
Yeah, that's why I said she's number one fan. Now, if somebody else came on and said, "Hey, Andrew, I'm your number one fan," we got a problem. No problem, man.
Well,
They probably wouldn't exist. They wouldn't
No.
exist anymore.
Nah, he'd be gone but gone, bro.
Beat them up.
Missing for 37 days.
Oh shit.
That person's a goner. Nah, but all right. So the score of the Georgia-Florida game or Florida-Georgia game, however you want to say it, right? The biggest cocktail party. Beautiful name. I wish they would keep it. Nonetheless, man, the score of this game is actually misleading because Florida actually played pretty good in this game for a little bit. But nonetheless, Georgia gets the win, man. Guys, what is your thoughts on this game? We'll start with you, Andrew.
Start with me.
Yeah, start with you.
Lagway went down, and that was the end. Like he was moving the ball. The game was competitive. They were in a good rhythm. You could tell the team trusts him. He went down. I mean, defense is on the field a lot in the second half, and you just can't leave Georgia's offense on the field that many times. This is going to happen every single time if you do. Pew! So I mean, that's what happened.
What you thinking, Andrew? I mean, what you thinking, Brandon?
Man, like him alluding to the injury definitely plays a part. But I pose a question back. He stays in there. This game's a lot more competitive. Florida runs the table. Do you think Billy Napier may have saved his job up to this point in the season? Or do you guys think his seat is still hot? Like, do you think he's still on the verge of being fired at this point?
I don't think he's on the verge of being fired, but that seat is still hot. He's done enough to show that he's making strides. No doubt about that with the wins and competitive games. But while I say he's going to keep his job, if they were to do something crazy like lose out, that seat would be really, really hot. So
yeah.
Yeah.
I like what they're doing, man. It seems like the Colts, like them finally moving away. Well, obviously Mertz got injured for the season, but you could see the energy and the vibe was a lot different the way they were playing.
Yep.
Like how you were alluding to, it feels like they believed in him and they felt like he had control of the offense and the team. Like that's definitely something that you have good to look forward to going into next season. Although, like your seat might be hot going into next season, at least you know you have a quarterback who's got some experience in the SEC. He's paid his dues to an extent. He's paid his stripes. Florida might be a pretty decent to good team next year. Like if they can build off what they're doing and finish out the season strong, they could be a team we look out for coming out of the SEC next year. But
So
yeah. I mean, Lagway, in my opinion, man, should have been starting from the jump, man. Just simply because I think they might have been able to win this game, right? Even with him having more experience, in my opinion. You know, the more experience a young quarterback gets, the better more times they'll be. So I feel like if he had more of an opportunity to play earlier, rather than just like, oh, well, we're going to do this 2-quarterback system and we're going to do this, you know, it hurt a little bit, right? Now, he did get hurt in this game, but I do think if you start him at the beginning of the season, it's a lot smoother offensively than you think, in my opinion. So
I mean, they probably would have built a bit more chemistry. I mean, obviously you're gonna develop the passer running the offense, but I mean, he has looked good though. Like nonetheless, even with that, he hasn't looked bad. Like they've been competitive. They've won games that had we been asked earlier in the season, we probably would have been like, nah, dude, Florida's like in hot water and they drowning really fast. But I mean, they've definitely showed a lot of improvement, and I think his development over the season is going to really help them carry that over into next year.
So here's a way Billy Napier can guarantee his job. Get bowl eligible. He needs 2 wins.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got Florida State. That's a win. Florida's definitely
one.
So they need 1 more. All right. They go to Texas.
Oof.
They get LSU at home. And then Ole Miss at home. They got to win one of those 3 to get bowl eligible.
Honestly, like I could see them. I could see them sneaking one with Ole Miss because I know Ole Miss has looked good, but you guys know the Swamp is a different place to play too, and especially if they're playing confident and he's playing. Like if Lagway's playing, they might be able to steal one at home there, in my opinion.
Yeah, man. I think man, I think they could. They got y'all at home. That's a big difference than playing y'all on the road, right?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the game I want to watch.
That's a really good matchup, though.
Yeah, that's the game I would think they would have the better chance than Texas.
You
or
never
Ole
know, though,
Miss,
man, because Texas has lost before. You never know, though. Like
I know,
They
I
lost
know
to
that.
Georgia, though, and Florida has to go to Texas. I
ooh.
don't know.
That one would have been on the Swamp. I'd probably give them the advantage, but you have to go to Austin.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nah, man. Nah, man. I like Lagway, I do, but nah, freshman going into
Yeah,
you
bro.
know,
Yeah, bro. We're gonna get some
Austin?
Vandy Chris hot takes, bro.
yeah.
Florida
What
wins
is
out.
that?
Shout out Vandy Chris. He's got a new show, man.
The
Check
Vandy
it out.
Show.
The Vandy Show on the network.
Love
Check
it.
it out, man. The hottest of the hot takes.
Yes.
Make you mad.
Spicy,
You'll probably break your cellular device because you like this makes no sense. What?
He's like those analysts when you watch ESPN on First Take, and you're like, bro, where are you pulling this out of? Do they have the teleprompter telling you this, or are you just like spewing it to make everybody mad? Like, I need to know.
Yeah, man, he is in his own mind.
Oh, he's
that's why he has
mentality.
his own show.
Hey, look, Army is ranked above Georgia in his top 25. True story. And Alabama, and LSU, and Ohio State,
This
and Penn State.
This is the same guy who had Army and Navy's quarterback over Dylan Gabriel, which had Andrew livid. That was so funny.
I never heard such nonsense in my life. I'm gonna take Army's quarterback over Dylan Gabriel, who probably finna win the Heisman. Like that's crazy talk, though. I mean, it is literal crazy talk. You taking Army? Which one of you are taking Army's quarterback over Dylan Gabriel?
But that is why he has his own show.
Yep.
To talk as crazy as he wants. And that's why we all voted for that show. Because
Much
he can
respect, though.
share his opinions
Yep.
with everybody.
And y'all can just
Even
fire
us.
up them comments, bro.
Even us. He shares these thoughts with us all the time. So let's put it on the record, right? Give it to
Hashtag
him
Clark
right
Lee to
there.
Michigan.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah, Clark Lee to the NFL.
Taking
Oh
the
man,
Carolina
I didn't even
Panthers.
think about that. If the NFL came calling, he'd be crazy not to go. They'd pay him something like $20 million a year.
All right, so the biggest game I would say of the weekend, in the college side, turned out to be a knockout, drag out, old school Big Ten type of game, right? But the underlining factor in this game is James Franklin, man. This year was kind of the year everybody said, oh yeah, you're gonna take that next step, right? And it's only one step he needs to take. He's been to the Rose Bowl before, so it's not like he hasn't had success, right? But you haven't beat the big dogs. You still the little homie. You still the little homie in the Big Ten. So you gotta get up into the big homie status, right? And this was the game to do it.
It was.
And he couldn't get it done, man. So what is y'all thoughts on this particular game and the future of James Franklin?
Man, it just sucks because all three of us were convinced that he was finally going to punch to the glass ceiling. You have no idea how hard it was for me to really put my name next to I got Penn State to win this game. And then I'm looking at the graphics. I'm like, damn, we all picked them. I'm like, Penn State's not a bad team. I'm like, they have to. And it was a home game. I know it wasn't a night game like we said it should have been. But I'm thinking, okay, like they're going to come to play. They're going to rock Will Howard and they're going to score some points. And I'm bouncing back and forth with the Ole Miss game. And then like this one, I'm like, bro, what is going on? And they just did enough to win, man. James Franklin, I know being a coach in that status, it's hard to get fired unless you're like really that bad. But man, you just can't get over the hump. Like, what is it going to take? Like, where do they draw the line in the sand? Be like, look, dude, we just cannot keep thriving in this consistency of mediocrity. Like, when are you going to get us there or no? Like, we need to know. Like,
Nah, man, I get it.
I respectfully disagree. So remaining games for Penn State: Washington, Purdue, Minnesota, Maryland. So Penn State finishes 11-1 and they're going to the playoffs.
oh yeah, for sure.
So we can't really knock James Franklin because like Alabama got 2 losses, LSU got some losses, Georgia took a loss, Texas took a loss. I can't just be like, well, Penn State took a loss from one of the best teams in the country. Fuck them. Like, so I don't agree with that. I think 11-1 and going to the playoffs. And you said that they're old school. They just run the ball. But, like, they average 190 passing yards a game and 175 rushing yards a game. That's the most balanced attack in college football. That is impressive to me. I think Penn State's the real deal, and they're going to finish 11-1, and they're going to be a high seed in the playoffs, and they're going to be a problem. Like, I really believe that this team is dangerous. I had them at my number 1 for a reason. This game didn't go the way they thought it would, but losses happen in the new college football in the Neal era. Like, you don't have to be undefeated anymore. Nobody's undefeated, really. I mean, Miami, but, I mean, they haven't played a Big Ten schedule or an SEC schedule, right? Do you think Miami would beat Ohio State? Absolutely not. Like, not in my opinion anyway. I'm high on the Franklin train. That's my opinion. 11-1 going to the playoffs, man. That's good. That's almost as good as you can get.
Yeah, it's good,
Yeah.
but it's just concerning for me. Like, you still can't get past them. I think they can knock. Don't get me wrong. They're not going to be a one and done in the playoffs, in my opinion. I think they win a couple games. But if they run into an Ohio State again, you run into an Oregon, or you run into a Georgia, I don't see them winning those games. I just haven't seen that big statement win that they really needed. There's a game they really needed to win. But like you said, the new landscape, you can lose a couple games and be in the playoffs. I'm just not convinced that they can make a run and go all the way. That's my thing.
So here's something else. Another reason I'm not concerned about James Franklin. Do you remember what Penn State was before he got there? Ass. I mean, they were ass, bro. They were under 500. And now he's going to have them 11-1 in the playoffs. I'm high on James Franklin.
No, he's a good coach. Not going to fire him or anything. Yeah. It just sucks that, you just really need that win, man. Like that would really help them in a lot of different areas. Recruiting, confidence, like they really needed that. But I mean,
yeah, like it's a good problem to have.
Good loss.
I would say. Yeah, it's the best loss you can have at this point.
And some strange calls too that reverse this, the fumble. I mean, like if they make that call right, Penn State wins this game though, and we're not having this conversation. I don't know, man. I'm high on them. I really am.
I think they're a really solid team.
Ain't nothing wrong to be, ain't nothing wrong with being high on them, right? It's just like, I guess I'm stuck in the old era where it's like, yo, this game, you lose this game, you out. Like last year, you lose this game, you out.
4 spots last year, 12 this year.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it's cool to have that, but the mindset's still the same. You gotta beat them. Because now you're gonna maybe have to play them again.
I mean, without the strange calls and fumbles and he drops it on the one, I mean, we're talking the same thing about Ryan Day right now, just in reverse.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about that for a minute. We've been talking about Ryan Day. Well, we don't think you should fire a guy that's always in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
11
always winning the Big Ten. Like he's always in the running for that. They recruit at a high level, and this is his first head coaching job. So you can't really hate on the dude that's done that, in my opinion.
I agree.
So my thing is for James Franklin is I'm still high on him because he took Penn State, even though Bill O'Brien took them after all of their troubles. He took it to another level, right? Almost back to where they were in Joe Pa's heyday, right? Really good, So I don't know, but nonetheless,
I'm waiting to see. I was waiting to see if he was going to say something. He's like, "What?"
Bill O'Brien took them to the Joe Pa. I don't see that, man.
No, I don't think he was.
No.
Bill O'Brien took them over after all the controversy.
And he took
Franklin
them.
Took over. He took them to another level that got them closer to where Paterno had them.
Yeah, like he took it over after all of that, and then James Franklin is now trying to take them back to their prominent days.
Okay,
he was like, "What the hell?" Like,
what you said though was Bill O'Brien took them to the heyday, like Joe Pa's heyday, and now I see what you're saying, but my brain just didn't process that correctly. I'm like, man, they were like 5 and 7.
Bro, his face. I'm like, what is his rebuttal? Like, I'm like, he's got something to say.
I just misunderstood. I was like, that just don't sound like me.
What's saying that?
I was like,
you're talking to Bill O'Brien's biggest fan, Cam.
No, I'm not.
No.
I'm not. Not at all. Not at all, man. He kicked rocks.
Rocks.
Boulder, Colorado rocks. That's what he can kick.
Imagine if Dion could get an offensive coordinator like that, though.
Oh my gosh!
God.
Imagine if he would have got Chip Kelly.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
Imagine if we would have got Chip Kelly.
I mean, if Alabama or Colorado, either one would have got Chip Kelly, man,
that's over with.
Colorado wins the Big 12 hands down with the weapons they have. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Cam, didn't you pick A&M to win this game?
He did.
I sure did.
I sure did. Hey, I got receipts, bro. I didn't pick them. I picked South Carolina.
So did
I
I.
sure did.
I got graphics.
I got the proof is in the pudding, bro.
Hey, the proof is in the pudding, man. And
Hey.
I ate the wrong pudding.
My own wife took Texas A&M, put that graphic in all the groups, and put the little chicken takes in there. Hey, that was funny. But at the end of the day, the Gamecocks kicked that ass.
They did. That was impressive, man. Like, they really put their foot on the gas, and they just did what they needed to do. Good smash mouth football.
So
So,
here,
all right, my bad. One thing, Andrew. I gotta get your take on this.
okay.
Has Raheem Sanders put his stamp on a first round or early first day, second day running back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think had he went out last year, he would have been a late second rounder. And look at what he's doing right now. People could see what he could be, right? So if you watch the game, which the runs that he took, the catches that he made, the tackles that he broke, right? But the reason that we see Rocket Sanders doing so well now is because Lenore Sellers came into his own, which is what South Carolina was missing, was a good quarterback, right? Well, Lenore Sellers, if you watch the last two games with Oklahoma and Texas A&M, the game has slowed down for him, even with these elite athletes. He's making good throws. He's making good decisions to run. He knows when to run somebody over. And now what that does is they don't have 8 people in the box, and you can see what Rocket Sanders can do. And that's what happened in this game, because they stacked the box at the beginning, and then Lenore Sellers threw 2 touchdowns on them really fucking quick, and they're like, hold up. Who said throw the ball? So then you look, there's only 4 people in the box, and now Rocket Sanders is got like 144 yards rushing, 94 yards receiving.
7 yards a carry.
I mean, just brutal. He caught 92 yards. He had 2 total touchdowns. I mean,
What's this mean, Andrew?
so
He had them goggles on
Had
before.
goggles, and then so they took the goggles off because they come here and they ran his peripheral and they gave him contacts, and now he's seeing the game in a different way.
Damn, so he got HD 4K.
Yes. But I did say that about this game. Like, if he were to play turnover-free ball and make good decisions, they win this game. And, man, they got ahead of them early. And like you said, they started feeding Sanders, and that was over with, man. And didn't know what hit them.
No clue. Like Shane Beamer outcoached Elko in every facet of the game from the beginning to the end. Shane Beamer is also growing as a coach. We can see that with the wins this year. I still say it was a hit job against LSU, but it meant the game. And then Alabama right to the very end. South Carolina can play with anybody in the country, and that's not biased. That's real. Look what they did.
No, dude. I mean, the defense, bro, held A&M to 20 points. Like, and y'all dropped 44. Like, it's a statement.
We were the most sacked team in the SEC, and in this game, we didn't allow any sacks because Lenore Sellers knew what he was doing in every facet. So that's why we beat them so bad. They couldn't get to the quarterback. And then their defense, because, they had made comments earlier in the week, that defense isn't good. Remember, they said South Carolina's defense isn't good, is what Texas A&M said.
No, I freaking said that.
Half, sit down.
Mm-hmm. I said they were going to come to play. A&M ain't seen a defensive front like that.
No, South Carolina at night, too, in Williams-Brice, 8 p.m. Man, it was a wrap when the kickoff went.
I knew that was going to be a big deal, though, playing there in that environment at night with the way the defense plays and having the weapons they have on offense. All they had to do was just play mistake-free ball, and that's what they did. And they freaking ran away with this one and never took the foot off the gas, man.
I'll tell you, this was the most impressive I've seen South Carolina football since the Steve Spurrier days.
It's been a little while.
Yep, it has.
It's been a little while. We grew up with that.
Will Muschamp.
Yeah, but Steve Spurrier brought them back to a new good place, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Considering he really didn't have to.
No, he didn't. His legacy was sealed. But we all know what South Carolina is, and fathom that Steve Spurrier took South Carolina to 3 straight 11-win seasons in the SEC. Incredibly impressive. Steve Spurrier is one of the GOATs.
He got to the SEC title game too, didn't he? 1 year.
Yeah. We went to one, and then we lost to Cam Newton's Auburn Tigers. Remember
that team was special though.
We had 6 fumbles in that game too.
That's when y'all had Lattimore. Yeah, was that that same? Yep.
Yeah, but Cam Cam was on a mission, man. And you know I don't like Auburn, man, but damn, he was good that season, dog.
Hey, look, they must have told him, look, we'll get you a new sun hat if you win this game.
Oops.
Hey,
But,
he was
but very
balling.
impressive. South Carolina's defense is for real, and South Carolina can play with any team in the country.
All right, so let's get into some other upsets, right? So what is that? 10, 11, 12 seem like they lost this week. So let's get into the second one, man. So Texas Tech in a very low scoring game, by the way. Beats Iowa State. And now the Cyclones are way lower in the rankings than they were last week. So what y'all think, man?
Oh, so
Heavy
it just
road.
confused me because under Texas Tech has Louisville stats, and under Iowa State,
I just noticed that.
I'm like,
It has Clemson.
Hey, my bad, dog.
I was just, but I just, no, I got you. It just,
My
it threw
bad.
me off.
My bad, dog.
Dude, I knew something was weird. I'm looking at the stats. I'm like, man, something ain't right. I'm like,
I'm
right
like,
as you said,
yo, do I got a booger on my face? Why the hell is y'all looking at me like this? I'm trying to figure out, am I saying something wrong? Is my computer frozen? Am I tripping? I've been smoking all day. I'm sorry.
You seen us looking like, man, what the hell they looking at?
I'm like, yo, what is going on? I'm tripping, right? I was. Okay, so ignore the fact that the stats aren't
Gotcha.
what they're supposed to be. Okay. But Texas Tech did win this game. What y'all think?
Everybody knew this was a trap game, though. When I made a post earlier in the week with like the top games that could be possible for upset, and this was the game that probably got the most votes, in my opinion. Like, Texas Tech can play with a lot of teams in the Big 12, man. The crazy thing is that I'm surprised there wasn't a higher scoring game, to be honest. But a lot of people weren't really sold on Iowa State. I thought they were playing okay, but I knew that they had a chance to lose for sure.
So, yeah. So I said a couple weeks ago when I had BYU in my top 10, Iowa State wasn't, and everybody was like, that don't make no sense. I was like, I'm not impressed with Iowa State. You know, the win over Iowa is impressive, but the rest of the time, I'm just not impressed. And then Texas Tech sitting there at 5-2, just dangerously winning games when nobody's looking. I was like, Texas Tech may win this game. I'm not surprised at all. I think Texas Tech is an up-and-coming team. Iowa State, they hurt their chances in the Big 12 because a lot of teams don't play each other because there's so many. It's really weird. I don't know. If Iowa State doesn't doesn't win the Big 12 championship game, they're not going. If you look at bracketology and all that, you have to win the Big 12 to go. Just like the ACC, only one team's probably going, and you have to win the ACC to win it, right? Because they're just beating up on each other. I think Iowa State knocked themselves out of the playoff in this game, and I think Texas Tech is a better team than we thought.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's looking like BYU is going to be that team to pull out and win the conference and get that playoff spot, for sure.
If BYU plays Colorado in the Big 12 championship,
they winning.
Must see TV, bro.
That's going to be a good game.
Yep.
But I think BYU could win that game.
He's having fun.
Agrees.
Man, that's good TV, man. Because really, you got an additional playoff because you get automatic bids, right? So all the conference playoff games are playoff games. Man, I just love college football now. I love this 12 system and then all the conference championship auto bids. Like, this is the most fun I've had in college football in a long time because you're going to see 12 teams compete. This is great. College football made the right decision.
Yeah, as long as they don't expand anymore on top of that.
I think we're good because you got conference championship game. That's the first round, and then you got 12. I think it's perfect where it is.
Mm-hmm. I agree,
man. All right. See if I messed up again. All right, now we good. I don't know why I put this game on here, man, but we got a shout out. We got a shout out to our late night football games, man, because don't nobody watch them like they used to. Hawaii gets the win over Fresno State, man. Probably didn't watch it, man, but shout out to the Rainbow Warriors, man. Straight up.
So I did watch this game last night, right? So my wife went to sleep, so I went ahead and put this game on. So Hawaii is 4-5, and Fresno State's 5-4 now, right? Because Hawaii was 3-5, and I watched this game, and Fresno State, not the Fresno State of old, but they're sitting there at 5-3, and they're up 20-7 in the fourth quarter. I'm like, well, this game's a wrap because Hawaii was driving. I think they were on like the 36 or something, and then they're up 20-7. I'm like, oh, whatever. So I started playing on my phone, trying to make some graphics or whatever. I look up, and then Hawaii scores. I'm like, oh, 2014, okay, but time's running out, whatever. So I'm not even paying. I look up, and then Hawaii scores again. I'm like, holy shit, what happened? Late night football, like you said, is severely underrated. They scored 14 in the fourth quarter to pull out a victory at Fresno State. Man, that game was fire. This was a good call.
And it's a conference game too, man. So that definitely helps them. I mean, they still have a possibility to make a bowl game. So
yeah, they still got a chance. That helped. If they lost this game, it was probably over. Sitting at 3-7 at that point. But it would have been over. Yeah.
But nonetheless, man, the Rainbow Warriors get the victory, man, and they continue to try to get that bowl eligibility, man. Hate people when they say, "Oh, man, the bowl games don't mean anything." Yes, they do.
I love bowl games.
It's a free vacation, man. Get some good bowl game gear, and you work on the depth chart for next year because
you're working to see what you got
in that bowl game. You put the right step forward and to start next season if that's what you're trying to do.
You hit the nail on the head. It's a free game to evaluate talent is what it is. An extra practice, extra everything. And plus the kids love it. So you play all year long, you play real hard, you get to 6 wins, and you get a little reward for it, man. It means something.
Mm-hmm. They try to downplay it with the playoffs to make it seem like it doesn't mean anything. But these games still make or break whether people keep their jobs, whether people get extensions, whether certain players are going to transfer out, or whether you have players who are going to come in and want to play for you as well. Like these games are still really important.
In the middle,
hey, look, I'm all for it. Like the only people that should be sitting out bowl games is the people that are no doubt first round picks. And I'm not talking 1 through 20. I'm talking 1 through 15. Because if 1 through 20 can be anybody.
Once you get past 15, it's kind of like up for grabs.
If you're not, I'm not gonna say unanimously, but consensus, if you're not top 15, you should be playing in a bowl game because it's more film on you. You know,
it is.
It only takes one team to love you.
Yep.
In the NFL, one team has to love you, and they're gonna take a shot on you, man. So, but nonetheless, man, that's been the recap. So let's get into previewing next week, man. So we obviously, me and Brandon have a nice tilt to talk about, man. One thing I have to say before we start breaking down this game, I'm glad that the SEC is on ABC because this is the time slot that this game should be in all the time. Your best SEC game should be at this point. They should never be at 2:00. That is for the Big Ten, not the SEC. Okay, let me start by saying that, right? So second off, man, this is gonna be a fun game, man. I took some time off to kind of lick my wounds. Obviously, it's been a rough season for me. Okay, I had to lick my wounds, man. Vandy, was death by 1,000 cuts, right? And and then losing to Tennessee was death by 3,000 cuts, right? So imagine what a loss to Auburn would feel like, and you understand how I felt during the kick six, right? Death by 10,000 cuts. So nonetheless, man, been a rough season, man. But due to the action we had this weekend, this game is pretty important.
Playoffs or go home.
Yeah, yeah. This is put up or shut up, right? So, I'm excited. Um, I don't even know who to pick, honestly, because I don't know what team is going to show up. I'm like, look, I ride with the Tide, man, but I'm not confident. Let's just say that.
What you got,
What you
Andrew?
got, Brandon?
Oh, you want me? No, I can go
No,
last.
it's
That's not
your
big deal.
team. Your
Okay.
team's playing.
Well, sorry. I'm trying to be a cordial guy here. Gosh.
It's your
Man.
team. Yeah.
So this game could go any way because both teams are trying to establish a playoff spot right now. Like we said before, this is playoffs or go home. Whoever loses this game is completely out of the conversation. Better luck next year, playoff spot. The fact that it's in Death Valley is a big factor. But both of our teams are trying to establish some more of an identity. You've had 2 losses. We've got 2 losses. Both losses we've had each have been embarrassing and just very anticlimactic. Like, you weren't supposed to lose to Vanderbilt. It happened. Everybody thought that you guys were going to run the table against Tennessee. It didn't happen. First game of the year for us. Shouldn't have lost to USC. Lost to USC. And then you go into a game with A&M where you were riding a high, I feel like, and you weren't ready for them putting that quarterback in, and he completely threw your defensive game plan to the wind. And your quarterback turned the ball over a lot. So both teams have a lot to prove here, but I feel like if there's going to be a game on the schedule this year, the teams are going to want to play the best, and you're going to see really good football. It's going to be this game. Because this is – you cannot make mistakes in this game already. But the place that the teams are in with at stake, or you cannot afford, even the smallest mistake can cost you this game, and you be out of the playoffs altogether. Alabama has things they need to work on. LSU has things they need to work on. I give LSU the edge just because it's a home game, but this game could literally come down to a play or two. This game's going to be a one-possession game. Like, this could be anywhere 3 to 7 points per. Like, I don't think it being anything crazier than that. If you guys are able to establish the run with your quarterback, we're going to have problems. Because we already know he can throw the ball everywhere down the field. I'm not worried about the secondary. I'm worried about what you guys can do if he's got the ball in his hands and he's running. Because we've seen what Marcel Reed did to LSU's defense last week. The thing for LSU that they need to work on, you need to establish the run. You need to establish the run. You need to establish the run. And stop putting your quarterback in these places where he feels like he has to just chuck the ball everywhere. And your quarterback needs to go through his progression to stop forcing it into double and triple coverage and turning the ball over that many times. So I think this could really be the best game of the year, honestly, just for what's at stake. But I've got LSU.
So there's 2 trains of thought with this game, right? So the very first thing I do when I do games like this is I take what I know about the teams and I put them on a neutral field, right? That's because that's going to help you clear your head. So if this game's on a neutral field, Alabama's a 2.5 point favorite right now in Death Valley. Right. They got a 64% chance to win. That's because Alabama, top to bottom, is a better team than LSU. Talent-wise, I think they have a better coach than LSU. The problem is it's at night in Death Valley. So after you make your decision, I think Alabama wins this game by 10 points on a neutral field. And then you go and you throw it at the home game and you give them 7-10 points for that. Man, this game is either going to be a 2017 come down to a field goal game, or if Nussmeier starts chucking the ball because they can't establish the run, it could go kind of ugly for LSU. We could see a 17-point win with Alabama. Because Alabama can score real fast. But that crowd's got to be a factor, man. I don't know, man. Like that, I've been struggling with this game since I saw it. My head says Alabama by 2017 by a field goal, but knowing it's at night in Death Valley, I don't know, man. We gonna go with my head, not my heart. Alabama by 3.
That's okay. That's not a bad pick at all.
Except the fact that Oklahoma is nowhere near number 18.
Hey, look. This was made before the poll came out, all right? So it's for the viewers to just foreshadow at this point. You've seen the AP poll already, so you know this game is like okay, all right. But nonetheless, first before we break down the game, let's put this in a vacuum, right? It's been a long time since we've seen this matchup, right?
Back to the Chase Daniel, Sam Bradford.
Yeah, back in the day, this was the matchup that you had to watch in the Big 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in today's climate, we got it in the SEC, which is quite really fun. I never thought I would see this matchup unless we got a lucky bowl game at some point, right? But to have Mizzou going against Oklahoma and the border war type of thing is really cool, man. So I'm going with the Tigers, man, because I'm a homer, and that's what I do.
Is Brady Cook still injured, or is
doesn't matter? I'm still picking
I
him.
think it does, though, bro.
Dude, that no hot.
See what happened when Cook wasn't. When Cook was out against y'all.
It matters for y'all because y'all not homer,
dude. Cam, that
if I
offense
wasn't
is
a homer,
abysmal.
I was gonna pick the Sooners anyway. But I'm a homer. That's what I do.
Andrew, do you know if he's hurt still? Because he had a wrist or a hand injury.
I'm trying to find it now. I don't. It's not giving
because
me,
this is my thing. Cook is an integral piece of that offense. We seen what happened when he went down and Drew Pine was throwing to the wind and just throwing to red jerseys. He was throwing to Alabama players thinking they were Missouri players. It was bad.
It was good for me.
Yeah, it was good for you. But if Cook plays and he's 75, 80% good to go, I give Missouri the edge here. But if Drew Pine plays, man, like Missouri's gonna have some struggles. Like I know it's a home game, but man, like that offense looked horrible without Cook in there.
Ass.
So no, if Brady Cook plays, Missouri 100% wins this game because they're a whole different team. They're 6-1 with him starting. But I mean, fucking Pine was 6 of 12 for 42 yards and 3 interceptions. Like Oklahoma is not a good team, but they still have athletes. And like Chris Pine is the worst quarterback I've ever seen play in my entire life.
He's bad, bro.
They weren't even confusing him. He was just throwing to.
He was throwing to red. I think he's colorblind, dog. Like I think he thought he was on the other team. Like,
hey, man,
was horrible. Chill. Like, nah, dude, that's Nathan Peterman in the flesh.
He's bad. He is the worst quarterback I've ever seen play at the college football level. Like literally, based on what he was throwing the ball, it was awful. If he plays, Oklahoma wins this game. But if Brady Cook plays, I'm picking Missouri.
I agree with Andrew 100%.
Either way, I'm excited, man.
I like just the whole mood change.
Either way, I'm excited.
Oh no, Lane Kiffin's pissy because this isn't going to be a night primetime game. Oh no.
Bro, don't nobody want to see y'all get y'all ass whooped in prime time, bro. Let's save this ass whooping for where it's at so everybody can see y'all get y'all ass whooped and then see some real good football at 7 or 6 or whatever, right? Nobody needs to see y'all get y'all ass whooped because that's exactly what's going to happen in this game. Georgia's going to beat them over the head with the run game and then slash them up with the play action to whoever is open downfield. Their defense is going to suffocate Jackson Dart, and it's over. It's over, man. So, Lane Kiffin will just have to wait another year and see where he wants to go because
you know where he wants to go.
He probably want to go to Florida, but I think they're gonna hold this one. They ain't gonna fold this hand. They're gonna ride it out with Napier for a little bit longer. But nonetheless, Lane Kiffin is where he's at, and this is gonna be another loss. How big? Hey, y'all tell me. But this is gonna be Georgia all the way.
So Lane Kiffin's at Ole Miss thinking he's still at Tennessee and Southern Cal. Like Ole Miss ain't that, bro. Like they're not going to get primetime spots until they start winning the games. Like you were talking about James Franklin not winning the big games. Well, Lane Kiffin's not winning the big games. He's lost 2, right? So like I agree with Cam. Georgia's going to win this game. Ole Miss does really good against teams with bad defense where they can exploit it, make themselves look good, run up the score. But when they play a team with a real defense, they struggle, right? And then a team that can move the ball as effectively as Georgia as well, they struggle with that as well. I agree with Cam 100%. I think Georgia wins. I don't think it's going to be nothing like a 30-point blowout or anything crazy, but
No.
I Georgia wins this game, maybe 30-15 like over Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ole Miss comes out. Like, I think they start off okay, but they can't hang with them. I think this Georgia's just got too much for them. They can't handle, especially from a defensive front. They're not going to be able to contain them at all.
No.
I've got Georgia winning by at least 14-17.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I think if I had to predict a score, I think Ole Miss's offense is still really good because Lane Kiffin's, borderline genius in my opinion. So I think it'll be like 38-24. I think they put up some points, but I think Georgia just has a little bit more offensively. And that's it, me,
Okay.
But nonetheless, the Land Sharks lose at home.
Black Bears.
Well, they don't have that cheating advantage no more. You've seen they put the hammer down. They're going to start finding people for stuff like that. So that
Good.
definitely will pop the air out their balloon for sure.
Correct.
True. All right, so we're getting into some NFL talk, man. We'll be back. Andrew will still be with us, but after this commercial break, we get into some real stuff. Hey man, I don't care. I'm on this Darnold train. I'm riding with Darnold.
You riding with the
Oh.
Vikings?
I'm riding with the Vikings, man.
Oh man.
I'm
Woo,
riding
bro.
with the Vikings,
Man,
man.
you was talking about taking a bath in the Kool-Aid earlier with the Falcons. Nah, you done. And this gonna play that clip until the end of the season, bro.
End of the season, man. You were so shocked that I was rocking with the Vikings, bro. I turned out to be right. Because that game was petty on the 49ers, bro. They was killing them. And I was like, yo, I can't believe I'm so right about this today. Nonetheless, we're back on the football frame of mind with our guest today, Andrew. We are going to get into some NFL stuff, man. So NFL today was actually pretty cool. Nothing crazy. Before we start this, we gotta give our prayers to Chris Olave, man. Took a real nasty hit. Got carted off, man. So they're saying it's a concussion. So we just glad that he was able to move his hands and limbs and stuff like that, man. So but nonetheless, just glad he's okay. At the end of the day, they have lives after that, it's all it's wins and losses in between the lines, but there's a whole other life after that. So hopefully, he can come back and play. But the first thing, I'm glad he's all right, man. So, but nonetheless, man, let's talk about this game here, right? So the Texans are scaring me a little bit, right? They do real good and they look unstoppable. Then sometimes they gotta fight for victories, right? That's just any given Sunday, right? But if we're talking about the good teams, things like that, they scare me a little bit. Jets get the win here. Jets get the win here, man. And what y'all think, man?
It is concerning the fact that they were only able to score 13. I mean, the thing with Malachi Corley was even crazier. I don't see how guys do stuff like that where they just let the ball go before they get into the end zone. But that's a whole different discussion for another day. What concerned me the most was the completion percentage with Stroud. 11 for 30 was a little concerning for me. The Jets don't have a bad defense. Like, it is concerning, but like I still hold on to the fact that I know the Texans have a really good roster. And they're still a really good football team. I think this is a game that you really shouldn't have lost. I think you can use this as film going forward to what you should not be doing and how you can improve going forward. But I still feel really confident about Houston going into the playoffs.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Houston long in the playoffs. They've taken 2 head-scratching losses to me. The Jets, it looked like the Jets were able to run the ball a little bit today and freed up Aaron Rodgers to throw the ball. It looks like what happened in the difference in the game. The Jets do have a good defense. But the Texans, I just worry, like, if you put them up against the Chiefs or the Ravens, like, I just don't see them getting that W in the playoffs. You know what I mean? I think they'll go, which is good because that's the goal. But I'm not as high on Houston as I was 3 weeks ago.
And they lack that experience factor, too. Those teams that you said have a lot of playoff experience, and they have a lot more camaraderie.
Right.
Yeah, man. Frustrating loss, because I thought that, if we're going talent for talent, I thought the Texans had a better team, in my opinion. But nonetheless.
Our NFC South pick is up.
So, we got Andrew on here, man. So we're gonna let him lead off with his Falcons whooping some Cowboy ass.
So I watched this game, right? So the Falcons did really good. Kirk Cousins had a really good game. They ran the ball really well, which is when Atlanta wins. They have 6 wins now. What you'll see consistently is Robinson up there almost at the 100 mark, and Algier up there at about 25. And then you'll see Kirk Cousins throw for 3 touchdowns, 222 yards. The Falcons are a good team. Once again, though, like when the Falcons, if they have to run up against, say, the Lions in the playoffs, I don't have a lot of hope that they're going to win that game, right? But as a fan, I'm loving it. Dallas scored right with like a minute 52 left to make it 27-21 at that, and went for 2. It was 27-19, went for 2, which was head scratching to me, because if you don't go for 2, then next time you have to go for 2, and if you don't get it, then you can't time because there's only a minute left. They got it luckily, but it made no sense to do that at that point. But either way, right? They go for it. They're there, and they did an onside kick. Atlanta recovers in the game. A good win for Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it's always good when the Cowboys lose. It's quiet around here, and I like it.
Facts.
I think we can all agree that Atlanta's obviously the sole favorite to win this division now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, preseason, I thought the same thing with their defensive.
I think we all picked them to win the division.
I think so, too.
All right. So, nonetheless, Brandon, this is your segment right here. So, your Patriots take a questionable L, but I'm really not even questioning it because both teams are ass. So, somebody had to lose this game. I'm just glad it didn't end in a tie. Okay, let's just say that.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, your team loses. But there's a bigger picture to this. The more losses you take, the higher draft pick you get. And you guys need offensive line help.
That and Travis Hunter.
Well, you need somebody to protect your quarterback so Travis Hunter can get the ball. Okay?
Drake May's got a really quick release, bro.
Hey, bro. If Bryce Young can't throw it and somebody chasing him, I don't want to hear it.
I don't know, man. This is just
if it's 3 people in the backfield where you hand the ball off, Where are you gonna throw it?
Like, this team is not a good team. I just question Gerard Mayo sometimes with what they run and the situations they find themselves in. Obviously, you lose in overtime. It was good that they would have scrimmage to drive together and get into overtime. You just need to be able to win games like this. I think the Patriots are bad teams like the Titans are. I just feel like they should have won this game.
So here's the good side and the bad side for New England. They moved the ball effectively. They really good with the quarterback boot. Drake May took off on them quite a few times. They weren't expecting that. They had one interception right off the receiver's chest. It popped on the chest. He didn't catch it. So, that one's really not on Drake. He hit him right between the numbers. So, Drake May had a great game. The offense, the running game was going. That's really good for New England. The bad part is their defense is really bad. I thought that was going to be the strength of their team this year, but this was just watching the Tennessee Titans go up and down the field all day, just doing whatever they wanted. That's not a good defense.
They lost a lot of their key contributors, though. They didn't re-sign. They let Uche go, and then they ended up trading Judon. Really hurt them too. So now they don't really have an identity on defense. I found.
That's what y'all get for Judon was on the Ravens, dog.
We didn't hear anything that you said besides that he was on the Ravens.
No, man, you went full on Palpatine mode there.
He's still on Palpatine mode.
Yeah, he is.
There you are.
There you are.
You've been lurking in the shadows too long.
That's right.
Hey, man.
Dude, all we heard was Judon was from the Ravens. That's what we get because Judon was from the Ravens.
Well, first of all, F you guys.
We didn't
And this streaming thing. But that's what you got. That's what you get because y'all stole Judon from us.
Hopefully you'll be telling Pittsburgh the same thing for Patrick Queen.
Yeah. But they winning right now, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna be waiting on that for a little while.
I can't say nothing. They win.
That's a bad defense. That's not good. But your offense gives me hope. They were moving the ball. But that defense.
I think you definitely need offensive line help. If you could get a guy like Will Campbell or Emory Jones out of LSU, I think that would really help you secure your edge, especially at the left tackle position to where you at least can protect May. But they got a lot more holes on defense too, man. Like they have some hope, but it's gonna be a process to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I would think y'all need a whoa.
What's going on there, partner?
What you doing? Hold on.
There we go.
Okay, I'm like, whoa. Hold up, man. That's not supposed to do that.
I don't know what happened. I'm sitting here looking at the screen. All of a sudden, we're on the bottom, and I'm like, huh?
We all looking like what you did, bro.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know what happened either, man.
I believe you.
I do too.
Oh, shit, man. Nonetheless, I was saying I think y'all need a more athletic tackle. I think athleticism in the lineman is a good thing. I was thinking y'all would get the lineman from Texas, Banks. I like him a lot too.
Yeah, maybe.
But either way, y'all need offensive line help. You have to start there.
You need somebody to catch the ball. But that's all right.
That too.
Hey, look, need help.
Ooh, that's a double whammy, bro. There ain't nothing to say about this besides like,
all right,
if y'all ain't got your brown bags out, you better take them out because it's about that time, bro.
Yes.
Hey,
Andrew's like, yes, you can finally bring your bags back.
That's right.
Yeah, y'all fighting for that first overall pick, man.
Oh man. All I'm gonna say, I'm gonna speak on this one time and I'll let y'all go. You need to let Mickey Loomis go, who's calling the shots, because they're always in salary cap hell every freaking year, and it's freaking ridiculous because you can't sign anybody. And two, man, if Dennis Allen should not still be there at all, dude. That's freaking ridiculous. He can't get them out of their own freaking way, bro. Like, there's no reason you should be losing to the Panthers at all, bro. No viable reason.
Actually, y'all should. Y'all bad.
They are bad, but I'm saying Carolina's got so many holes and they're such a bad team. Like, just talent-wise alone, the Saints should win this game. But the fact that they're just in complete disarray from top to bottom, I think you keep the offensive coordinator. Defensively, you're struggling tremendously. And from a head coaching perspective, it's time to move on and get you somebody new.
Did you see what Dennis Allen looked like with the Raiders?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't want them to do this. This is a horrible decision.
I was like, what are y'all thinking? He was bad there.
He was an awesome defensive coordinator, but I guess they thought they were going to build
cool.
on that. But, dude, horrible decision. That's Mickey Loomis, bro.
So is Steve Spagnuolo. He's a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, well, now he wasn't for New Orleans.
Or he wasn't for the Rams as a head coach, man.
It's bad.
God, that sucked, man. God damn, that was so bad.
Well,
God, that was so bad, man. Steven Jackson ran for 1,600 yards in 3 straight seasons, and they won 3 games.
You know, I look at this game.
What the fuck, man?
And I was watching it with the Falcons game because you can do the split screen on YouTube TV. So here's the thing, like New Orleans Saints were like the Carolina's defense is bad. The New Orleans Saints were doing a really good job. They were running up and down the field, fucking Derek Carr. I didn't even see him throwing in completion. All I saw was completions and a bunch of them. You know, so they did really good. Like the Saints offense was really good. The problem was like they kept giving, like their punter would shank a punt, and then you know they get some, because Carolina didn't move the ball very well. It was short fields, and they went down and scored. I mean, 171 passing yards and you know 80 rushing yards for the entire game, bro. Fathom that. That's all the yards that the Carolina Panthers mustered and won the game. This is just field position, just bit you in the ass in this game. You gave them short fields. An NFL team, no matter who they are going to take advantage of short fields. That's what happened to you, bro. I mean, you killed them in every stat, offense, defense, everything. But just little things like shaking a punt, going for it on 4th down, didn't getting it. Those things come back bite you in the ass, man. And then the Panthers took advantage. And now we're talking about how fucking bad this. I mean, like we could say, well, you know, as soon as Derek Carr comes back, we'll be back to what they were. Played this game the Panthers.
I didn't think that at all. They're not a good team, bro.
No.
But it starts with coaching, bro. Coaching's horrible.
Yeah. I mean, how do you beat their ass on offense, defense, and screw up
and still find a way to get shot in the butt, bro?
Correct. They moved the ball. I mean, like if you didn't watch it, it was just one completion after another, handoff, 6-7 yards every time. It was crazy.
You shouldn't be giving up 23 to Carolina. Their offense is horrible.
Yeah, agreed.
Bad. And then Leggett got hurt again, didn't he?
Yes.
Like they have nobody. Deontay Johnson's not there. Adam Thielen, I want to say, is hurt. Like what is going on? Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got that Deontay Thompson, baby. I'm excited, dog. But we still need help on defense, man. Speaking of Deontay Thompson.
You mean Johnson?
Thompson.
Like how you were saying Sam Arnold or Aaron Darnold. Aaron Darnold.
Aaron Darnold.
It's Sam Rogers.
Sam Rogers. Mr. Rogers. Like, bro, what are we doing? Hey, he had some nice ass sweaters though, low key though.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is like they were getting hype on Bo Nix and y'all popped their balloon real quick. Oh my god.
Yeah, man.
Y'all popped that balloon quick.
This was an ass whooping, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Because how we lose to the Browns last week.
And then y'all chopped the Broncos' cheeks.
So the Broncos just got they just got the boost.
Wrong
to
place,
ass.
wrong time.
Yeah, they got boots to ass, man, and that's just what happened, So nonetheless, Lamar continues to look like the most valuable player again. And this ain't running, bruh. He been passing his ass off. I think that's a perfect passer rating, and he's done that 4 times in his career. So yeah, wild, man. Derrick Henry doing his thing. Zay
He's looking to be
Flowers is
offensive player of the
turning,
year at this rate.
bro. Zay Flowers is turning into a 1, and it's interesting to see how the game has changed. Because remember back in the day when me and you was growing up, the 1 was a 6'4", 200-pound guy, right?
Big body at like Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, Andre Johnson kind of guy.
Yeah, your 1 was always big.
Possession
Now
big
it's
guy.
like the 1 is Cooper Kupp size, Steve Smith, all of those guys. Like they're smaller guys that really dominate the game now, man. And Zay Flowers is good, man. So the Broncos had to take this ass whooping. But that's okay. Because Bo Nix, even though he didn't do that well, he's still one of the best rookie quarterbacks this year, hands down.
Yeah.
He's been really good throughout this season, and if I'm not mistaken, the Broncos are 6-4. Am I right?
They're
That's it?
5-4.
5-4.
5-4. My bad. My screen's dirty. Sorry. Nonetheless, man. What y'all think, man? I said my piece. The Ravens look good.
They just had too much, man. Baltimore just run, and throw at Lamar. I mean, the real test I just want to see is when y'all make playoffs and y'all have to play in these playoff environments. I want to see if y'all defense is going to progress and get to where they need to be by then. Because offensively, y'all can do whatever y'all want. The question is defensively, are you going to be able to go into Arrowhead and be able to beat Kansas City?
You right about that one. But that's crazy because coming into the season, I actually really didn't think we would be that bad on defense. I thought we got like some losing Queen was a detrimental.
That was a big loss.
Right, detrimental. But knowing how we've been on defense for the last 25 years, I'm like, yo, as long as you got one good linebacker, you can just, put another one next to him, right? He can tell him what to do. But nah, that's not the way it worked. That's how it works on Madden, though. But nonetheless, it hurt a little bit. But I thought secondary was going to be the question mark. But it's actually the front 7. It's actually the problem. So, but can't win with the front 7 being bad. It hurts the back end and vice versa. So, but nonetheless, you're right. I don't agree with you often, but you're right.
So
yeah, what?
Here's what I saw in this game. The Broncos are a good football team. Let's not make the Broncos are probably going to the playoffs. I'm very impressed with them. So what this game showed me was Lamar Jackson. Remember Chris said Derrick Henry will average 50 yards a game if he's lucky, and how a stupid pickup it was. Because salty Titans fan, but Derrick Henry is
yes.
He said what?
He said
he's going to
average 50 yards a game, and he'll what do you say? Less than 10 carries a game? Yeah, strange stuff.
It was a very salty pick. Like,
I'm glad he got his own
salty.
show to say this stuff, man.
Right. Well, I will tell you why I now put Baltimore as the best team in the AFC. What we saw here was a very good Broncos team, very well coached team, really eat a lot of yards. Like they were moving the ball very effectively on Baltimore. Actually, they were moving the ball between the 30s very well, but inside the 30, what we saw was Baltimore's game plan get very, very good and very, very quick. Denver would move the ball. And then when they got about to the 35-yard line, they just stopped them. It was a bend, not break. Beautiful game plan. The defense has now figured out what to do to shut down good teams like Denver. I mean, like, but them and the Chiefs and everybody else.
We got look, man. We gotta do this, man. I'm sick of the Chiefs, man. They ain't even playing good football. And the
Defensively is
motherfuckers,
carrying them. That's
bro,
crazy to say that
like,
out loud.
offensively,
Isn't
they
it?
ain't playing good at all. But
That's
defensively,
crazy. Like, what world were we living in to think Kansas City defense would be carrying the team in the offense? Like, who would have guessed that would have been the case? Like, you knew they were respectable, but I wouldn't have guessed that they would be having the struggles that they have. To say they still undefeated, like,
yo, they defense is balling, dog. Like I said, the 49ers had like 3 possessions in the red zone and came away with nothing every time. So, like, wildin', man.
Hey,
Ravens
man.
get the win.
And also, you know, the Chiefs seem to get timely flags every single game.
That too. But we already knew that, man. We already knew that. They get it all, man.
They do.
They
Patrick
get all.
Mahomes is the new Tom Brady. That's a fact.
Yeah, and to only beat Tom Brady, you have to put some points on the board. Like, you have to outscore Tom Brady more times than not, right? So that's the formula. And the last 2 Super Bowls, they just didn't score enough. Like, it feel like Mahomes was like, okay, we're gonna let him up by like 14, and then we're gonna race after that. And he always wins. Can't stand Mahomes, man. I'm sorry, no. Get on my nerves. But nonetheless, man, Eagles here. A closer game than I think a lot of people predicted. But the Eagles hold on late. I think Jacksonville was driving to try, I guess, win the game, bro. You never know. But nonetheless, Eagles get the win here. Another fantastic rushing effort by Saquon Barkley, including jumping over somebody backwards. Like, dude is crazy, man. Crazy. But nonetheless, man, Jalen Hurts did wonders again. I like it when he's under 25 passes. It's a good day because that means he ain't got to do too much. All right. But nonetheless, Eagles get the win here. What y'all think? Jaguars or ass?
Nonetheless, that's your favorite word.
Nonetheless.
I would piggyback off of your point. Like, last year, we were questioning, even earlier on, their offensive game plan was just, he was having to throw the ball too much. They couldn't establish the run. This is a prime example of them having a really good game plan and being balanced. He didn't have to throw the ball too many times. He was able to throw just enough, get yards, score points, and you could just let Saquon do his thing. Because we all know if Saquon's healthy and playing in the right situation, he's top 3 back in the league. And he yet again running for $150, ran all over Jacksonville, and they just had just enough, man. They didn't really turn the ball over, and Hurts played efficiently, and Philadelphia got a good win.
So here's the thing. I've talked about the Eagles since the beginning of the year. I've said they're a good team. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. No matter what people are saying. But what I'm noticing in this game, the offensive line for the Jaguars is complete ass. Trevor Lawrence isn't built like Deshaun Watson was and CJ Stroud. He can't just take off it and move the whole pile. Like, he's a pocket passer. He's a stand in the pocket, throw the ball. And every single play he's running. So what we see when you put Trevor Lawrence on the run and you don't protect him, 16 of 31 with 2 interceptions, right? That's what they did to him. They didn't run the ball. How they scored 23 points, I have no idea, right? Trevor Lawrence had 2 rushing touchdowns, but I was saying, like, how they even got down there with these stats is beyond me. But that's crazy. You can't do that with Trevor Lawrence. You're going to see stats like this for him every week if you can't protect him, because he can't run like Lamar Jackson out in the flat and outrun these guys. He's not outrunning those people. It's just going to happen. So, I mean, until they fix that, then there's no point even having Trevor Lawrence there.
He can't play to his strengths, man. You know the guy can throw him in a bucket anywhere on the field, but if he keeps getting rolled out, like not everybody's like an Aaron Rodgers. Not everybody's like these guys who you said that get rolled out the pocket and that's where they thrive, thrown across their body down the field. He's not that guy, and it sucks because he's not a bad quarterback, and he got paid a whole lot of money. But if you can't protect him and put him in positions to score points consistently, you're going to be in trouble.
Correct.
They're gonna be like this until he restructures his contract, and they
You
get.
need to do the Tom Brady thing, man. Move that money around so they can get people in there to help you.
Yep,
Correct.
that's they're gonna be like this until he restructures his contract. So they just might as well get used to it in Jacksonville because he's gonna get his ass kicked.
Yeah, Saxonville,
Wow.
but except they're not the ones getting the sacks. They're giving them up.
Yes, and a lot of them, and a lot.
That's what I'm saying. So he's gonna have to ride it out, man. But this isn't gonna be a good team for a minute. But nonetheless, they won. They lost. Eagles win. So we'll see. But the Eagles have to they're gonna have a problem with Washington, man. Like it's gonna be fun games between those two teams, man. If we're talking about NFC East, like it's gonna be fun because they're not going nowhere.
They match up really good against each other, and Washington's got a good front seven too. So
Yep, they do. They do. The Eagles got a good team, period.
yeah,
So
I just don't know if they're ready for that quarterback because if Daniels gets hot, that's gonna be a really good game.
he looks like yo, he ready, like he the one. Like out of all the rookie quarterbacks we've seen this year,
Oh, he's him.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like he's good, bro. Like good, man. So they picked the right guy. Nonetheless, we are going to predict next weekend, next Sunday. So this matchup right here, you know I'm rocking with Baltimore. What y'all got?
So listen, the Bengals have quietly won 3 out of the last 4 games. So the season turned around in a loss for the Bengals, and it sounds funny, right? Like, what do you mean it turned around? So the Bengals had won a couple games after losing to the Patriots and a bunch of strange things. They put a couple wins together, then they played the Ravens. And they played the Ravens to overtime and lost that game by 3. Well, they have since won 4 out of the last 5 games, or 3 out of the last 4 games, quietly, right? Because they were 1-4, they're done for. Well, now they've won 3 out of the last 4 games, and they took Baltimore to overtime. This team just became dangerous. That's a fact. The Bengals are now dangerous. Look, I mean, because what happens recently matters, and this is a scary team. I'm going to pick the Ravens to win this game, but I'm going to tell you right now, if the Bengals beat the Ravens, they are a dangerous team. Probably the most dangerous team coming up, just based on what they've done over the past 4 games, and if they can beat Baltimore, split the season series with them, and turn their season around, whoo. Boy, we'd be talking something special about the Bengals, but give me Baltimore, by a touchdown.
I think the importance of first meetings are really important, especially the fashion that they lost. They didn't lose by much, and it seems like they've really put things together. Baltimore's playing really good football, but I just feel like nobody's completely unstoppable. Like anybody can lose on any given Sunday. I think the Ravens are definitely heavily favored, but give me Joe Shiesty, man. Give me the upset. I think he's got something to prove. I think the Bengals are a dangerous team. I don't think they win by much. Give me the Bengals by 3 if he's healthy.
No.
I mean, I just gave you a whole segment of how I think Baltimore winning 3 out of the last 4 games and 5 out of the last 7 with a close loss to Baltimore, a team that I just said won the 2000 The Bengals are good. I agree with you. Like, me picking the Bengals to win this game is not like outside the realm of crazy talk to me. But I still like Lamar Jackson's Lamar Jackson, bro. Give me the Ravens.
Okay, we don't even have to do an in-depth analysis. I think we're all
Yes,
picking
we
the
do.
Falcons.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. You're gonna tell me and our viewers how the Saints can win this game.
They're not. They're not. I don't even care if it's in the Superdome. I'm sorry. Like, they're like, don't get me wrong. I will agree with the points that Andrew made with the fact that they were going to move up and down the field. But man, just as long as he is the head coach, he just does not know how to keep his team in places to win. Like, he will continue to shoot them in the foot until they lose. Atlanta's playing really good. Kirk Cousins has been in Magic City every week since week 1. Give me the Falcons, man. They're playing way better football. I don't care if it's a home game. I got the Falcons.
The question was, how do the Saints win?
0% chance. Just how I thought the Panthers had 0%. The Saints have 0%. If you have your brown bags, take them out because it's about that time.
So we saw the Saints lose to the Panthers because of bad special teams and costly coaching decisions going forward on 4th down, and you lost to the Panthers. Well, now comes a Falcon defense that's riding high. Like, I watched them get in the backfield all day today, just popping Dak Prescott all around. Like, the dude was running for his life the whole time. And Dallas has a much better offensive line than New Orleans does, man. Like, that's crazy talk. Kirk Cousins going to go up down the field all day long. Drake London out there looking like Jerry Rice in his prime the last couple games. Bijan Robinson just hitting holes and making stuff happen. This will not end well for New Orleans. Give me the Falcons 37-14.
If they get that many. I don't know, man. Yeah, see, Chris remembers them days. Back the Ken Stabler, freaking, Bobby Hebert-esque days,
Hey, I love Bobby Hebert.
Don't you talk about
Bobby Hebert's an
Ken
asshole, bro.
Don't you
Them
talk
defenses
about
were great. The Dome Patrol were really good, though.
Don't you talk about Ken Stabler like that.
Ken Stabler's my dog. I love Ken Stabler, but New Orleans just wasn't it.
Yeah, that was bad. Sorry, dog.
Earl Campbell went to New Orleans, too, but you don't hear me talking about him.
Look.
Ricky Williams was there, too.
Yeah. And you gave away the whole draft.
And let's just say, I feel like Ricky.
I got high and forgot I wasn't supposed to is the quote of forever in the NFL. And they asked him what happened. This dude literally on national TV said, I got high and I forgot I wasn't supposed to. I'm just 4 games.
Yeah, exactly. They were trash. They were. That's why I made that reference. Do you see what they did to Archie Manning?
I mean, let's not pretend like Archie Manning was the greatest thing since sliced bread.
No, but the dude had to run everywhere, bro. That dude had no hope. He was running home every game.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, you got the Falcons too, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to say, if you pick the Saints, I'm gonna have a problem.
Yeah, I got the Falcons though. I ain't picking the Saints, man. Are you
He's
crazy?
on the Cousins train.
Nah, bro. I'm on Magic City Kirk. Yeah. That's where I'm with. Ever since that 500 game, Kirk has been like, well, this is what happens when you let the reins off a little bit. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. He playing like he playing like Michigan State almost. He's just like, I'm free again.
Well, he also has an offensive line again.
And a lot of weapons.
Yes, right. A lot of weapons. Bijan out of the backfield is a weapon.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. All right, so we got the Texans going against the Lions. Man, this is a really important game for the Texans, because in an alternate universe, you could probably see these teams in the Super Bowl, right? In an alternate universe, they really good, both teams, man. But the Lions just seem like they're on a mission to do something. Golf is looking like Jesus. He's looking like an MVP candidate almost. Never thought I'd say it, but he is. He is, man. But nonetheless, man, that's my favorite word today. Nonetheless, Lions win here, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I've been high on Houston. I love CJ, but that loss last week still does concern me. Detroit just got too much, man. They just have too much. I think Houston's still a really good team, but I'm going with my Super Bowl pick, man. Give me Detroit, bro, by at least 14.
Yeah. So what we saw with the Texans today.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
They
Diggs is
did
out.
lose Nico and Diggs.
Diggs.
Damn.
So they
That
still
is-
got Tank Dell.
Yeah.
Like I said, what we saw today with the Texans, that was that they just you saw they were just flat. And we just went over them a few minutes ago, how I felt about them, and then I told you that Detroit was the best team in the NFL. So I don't have. I agree with Cam 100%. This is an important game for Houston. If they want to put the trajectory of their season on, they will win this game. However, it is not going to be in the cards for them. I got the Lions big. They're not playing very good football at this junction. The Lions are playing at an elite level. I think Lions by 14 at least.
Lions to the Super Bowl.
I think so, yeah. Lions and Chiefs, Lions and Ravens. Man, Lions and Ravens. Sign me up for that Super Bowl.
With the Lions getting the dub. Sorry, Cam.
No,
Everybody wants to see Detroit win the Super Bowl. Y'all got to already.
Nope. You let Lamar get to the Super Bowl, bro. You ain't gonna be able to shut me up. Like, yeah. I'm gonna put a video up. All the black quarterbacks that we thought would go to the Super Bowl. We here now. You ain't gonna be shut me up. I swear, I'm be on my Al Sharpton, bro. Nah, Dr. Umar.
I really like this game.
Me too. I do. I would
This is a cool
love
matchup.
it if Justin Fields was playing too. You know, like it would have been fun.
They talking about maybe shipping him out before the deadline.
I mean, he showed he can play, increased his value. So
look, give me the Steelers big, man. This smoke and mirrors Washington team, man. Like, look, let's look at the team they've beaten, right? So they lost to the Bucks, they beat the Giants, they beat the Bengals when Joe Burrow was out with injury, they beat the Cardinals, they beat the Browns, they lost to the Ravens, they beat the Panthers, they beat the Bears, they beat the Giants. No, the Steelers are a much better team than the Commanders from top to bottom. What Washington has special is Jaden Daniels, and we don't even know if he's playing because he's listed day to day again. Like the Steelers are a better team, and the Steelers are going to win this game. And if Jaden Daniels doesn't play, man, Steelers big, like by 20.
Yeah, I give Pittsburgh the edge. I think Jaden Daniels makes this game interesting. If he plays, I don't see it being a big deficit, though. I think this game could be close, but I think Pittsburgh's just playing really good ball. And they've played better teams up to this point, so I've got Pittsburgh as well.
F the Steelers. Give me Jaden Daniels and the Commanders getting in this game, man. Jaden Daniels is a man of the people. He is a guy that is out here to do his thing. Okay? He is rookie of the year at this point. He's looking real nice. And the Commanders are in a new place right now. All right? They finna beat the Steelers, man. Okay? By 7.
On that one.
By 7.
I mean, if you think that Mike Tomlin fitting to lose to the Commanders with 75% at best Jaden Daniels, when they're playing ball like the way they're playing, and Mike Tomlin, one of the greatest NFL coaches of all time, I don't see the Commanders winning this game.
Well, we're going to agree to disagree.
Yes, we have.
Looks like we got a mistrial.
We are at an impasse.
Free Young Thug,
Need a
because
new
Young
shirt.
Thug free.
He's sleeping at home. It wasn't a not guilty, but you know, he gone.
Hey, look, you gotta take what you can take, dog.
I would. I'd be like,
Yep.
yeah, I'm home, cool.
Yep. Put me on probation 15 years, man. I'll be chilling. Chilling. I can't rap about guns or nothing. I'm cool, man. We finna rap about parties, freedom,
Right.
ladies, all of it. We good.
Whatever. People gonna buy it.
Yep. That's exactly what it is. So we good. Yeah.
Chris
That's
ain't had
what
no bad takes today, bro. What's going on? Today must be a different kind of day. Them takes ain't been too bad, bro. You saving them.
He was on the Millennium Falcon with Cam today. He's thinking a little clearer.
I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm back on that thing. I'm on the Humble telescope. I'm way up there.
You got that magic carpet ride.
Be like,
Yes.
hello, people. What y'all doing? Nah, man. But it's been a great show, man. We reached the end of the show, man. So we're gonna get our last thoughts, final thoughts, man. Going into this week of football. What you got?
You want
Special
me?
guess what you got.
Oh, all right. We got a lot of good NFL football next week. I'm really excited about LSU, Alabama. But selfishly, I'm more excited about South Carolina and Vanderbilt, specifically because me and Chris,
Clap them cheeks.
right, because of our friendship. But at the end of the day, I'm looking at this objectively, right? So Texas A&M brought in their running quarterback. And they went there and they thought this is what it's going to be, right? And that guy's fast and he is good. Diego Pavia is 5'9", and Vanderbilt's offensive line is not as good as Texas A&M's, man. Those are all 5-chip recruits over there, big boys. South Carolina is going to be on Pavia like they were with Texas A&M from the beginning of the game. And Lenore Sellers has figured out how to slow the game down and make good decisions. Does not bode well for Vanderbilt's defense either. So I'm looking forward to that matchup. I think South Carolina wins. But what I'm most excited for, like the new rankings come out tomorrow, the very first college football rankings, and I'm excited and I can't wait to talk about it Thursday.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me.
that's gonna be fun.
Yep.
12 teams up in there. Like, oh, who in that first initial rankings, man? Because Texas A&M was in the first one ever, and they ain't been back since. So maybe they'll be in it this time. We'll see, man.
Yeah.
But what you got, Brandon?
Man, we've been waiting for this game all year. All year. We've been waiting for this all year. But now Cam's kind of like, we win, we lose. I don't know. I don't care. I've been high as the sky. You know, we win, we lose, we lose. I'm still hyped, though. Like, this is the game of the year.
Right now.
It's make or break, man. It's a make or break game. I think it's going to be, tension's going to be really high. And Vanderbilt's going to get their ass. Yeah, they're going to get clapped. South Carolina's defensive line is going to rain terror on y'all quarterback. I think it's time to humble y'all a little bit. And you know how we were predicting those games that they were going to lose, that skid they're going to go on? Well, this is where the skid starts. And it's not going to get any better from here, their partner. So, yeah, I got South Carolina in that one, too.
Yep.
By 21 or more.
All right, so I'll start my final thoughts, man, with something vulgar. F Auburn, man.
Agree.
F Auburn, man. You had one job. One job. Now, people didn't expect us to lose to Vandy, but there were a lot of people that thought that y'all was going to lose to Vandy. But y'all had one job to make these guys go 5-7, so I can really talk shit to Chris about this kid. Now they get another game because they bowl eligible.
Woo!
F Auburn. Can't believe it, man. But nonetheless, on a positive note, the Ravens are looking good. I'm excited to see more of Lamar Jackson passing the ball, man. I've been really impressed. It seems like he's taking the next step in passing. It seems like every year since he burst on the scene at Louisville, he's gotten better at passing every year. And it seems like he's continuing to grow. And we'll see how he goes into the playoffs, man. But I really like what the Ravens are doing, man. So that's my thing, man. Let's see what Chris got to say.
Yeah, they gonna. Okay, I got really excited for you, and I was really hype about the takes, but not now. You done.
Now he done woke up.
He was in hibernation.
Yeah, he done woke up,
South
man.
Carolina gonna put him back in hibernation.
He ain't on the planet I'm on right now. Let's just say
Not
that.
anymore. He done sobered up.
He's in a ditch.
Not me. Anyway,
No, sure not.
nonetheless, man. All right, before we get up out of here, man, Andrew, tell the people. First of all, we have always glad to have you on the show. Let's start there. Second of all, tell the people where they can find you.
Specifically College Sports Villains on the Villains Media Network, which is man, just a bunch of good people. A lot of good content. They're very excited about the alliance and the council. I love where this is going. You can find me on X at USC Fan 981, TikTok same at USC Fan 981, and man, I'm just it's very good, and you can find us always here on Football Frame of Mind as well.
Unless, man. All right, man. Brandon, what you got before we get up out of
We
here?
appreciate
Man?
all the people watching. If anybody's still watching, thank you so much. Even Chris with his crazy picks, we do appreciate the feedback and the crazy takes you have, man. But anybody who's been here, thank you for watching. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like the video, smash the comments. Don't forget to subscribe either. And definitely check out that logo in the top right-hand corner for the Media Network, man. Bunch of really cool shows. We touch on football, basketball, wrestling, all of that good stuff. Check them out. We got all their information. Make sure to subscribe to them as well. And man, we're in the heart of it. We're in the heart of it. We're living it up. We're having a good time. But definitely don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to all the channels, whether it be social media platforms, YouTube, all that good stuff. And definitely, it's gonna be a good time.
All right, man. Couldn't have said it better myself, man. Before we get up out of here, gotta give a big shout out to Megan Lease, Emily, Tim Klein, Terry Moe, Chris, my wife, Andrew, and Mr. Duff for liking the video today, liking the show. So big shout out to those people, man. And this is a Football Frame of Mind. We up out of here.
Peace.
Peace.
Welcome back.
We trying to leave.